Hello everyone, and welcome. Lucy and I are out at our old camping spot where we just took down the cabin a couple of weeks ago. The last few weeks have been very busy. We haven't been able to get out at all. This weekend, today is Sunday. Yesterday we were busy again. But today, I just had to get out. So Lucy and I are out here. We're just going to have a little fire, sit around, relax a little while, and we're going to stay and have supper before we head out of here. Okay, the chair's set up. Let's get ready to light this fire. Now we're going to light the fire in this little hole and let it burn its way down. Charred cloth, piece of quartz, and my steel striker. Now because we're at the old campsite, I've got my woodshed back there. In the woodshed, I had a little stash of dried grass, which I'm going to use to make a bit of a bird's nest. I had some birch bark, so I'm going to put a bit of that in there. I gathered up a bunch of fine twigs and I split a little bit of kindling. So now I get a piece of charred cloth, tear it to expose a bit of fine fibers. Put the fine fibers as close to the edge as I can. Get all that into the bird's nest. What's been happening lately? What's been keeping us out of the woods? 2 weekends ago was Thanksgiving here in Canada, which also fell on Anne's birthday. So we stayed home on Saturday to celebrate her birthday with her daughter and her grandson. And then on the Sunday, I went to my brother's for supper. And it was a busy weekend, and we decided to stay out of the woods for the one weekend. Last weekend I was supposed to come out and it poured rain all weekend long. And the new tent that I bought, from what I was reading on it, it says it's waterproof, but only after you subject it to a light misting for some reason. And raining as hard as it was, I didn't want to find out the hard way that it's not waterproof. I bought a couple of cans of canvas waterproofing. I was planning on coming out yesterday and spending the night spraying the tent, getting that all done. And Friday night I looked at the weather network and they were calling for showers on and off Saturday. Again, I don't want to get the tent wet until after I've sprayed it with the waterproofing. And that waterproofing needs 24 hours to dry, so I couldn't spray it today. I've got nowhere to leave the tent. I'm not leaving the tent set up in our complex with all those kids around if I'm not there to watch it. So hopefully next weekend is nice and I can come out on Saturday and spray the tent, spend the night in it, and then take it down the next day. But we're into October, we're into fall, there's going to be a lot of rain. It's going to be hard to find the right days to do it. But today I was not planning on coming down here. I had not planned on doing any work. I was coming out strictly to build a little fire, sit by the fire for a while and relax, and cook a bit of supper before I go home. Now, hunting season is in full swing. I was hoping to stop somewhere closer to home, checking spots along the way. I made it all the way here. There's hunters everywhere. So I decided at least this spot, I've got firewood cut. I'm good to go. So this is going to be my afternoon. It's already 2:15. I think I'm going to dig through the firewood that I have here, or even some of the logs from the cabin. See if I can cut off a small chunk and carve a little something. Spend the afternoon relaxing by the fire. So I took one of the pieces of firewood I had. I cut it down into shorter pieces. I split out the center, and then I made these 5 little blocks. Not going to be carving all 5 today. I just made some extras so that I could take them home later. I think I'm going to start with this piece, and the first thing I'm going to have to do is straighten out the edges a little bit, just so that I can see what I'm doing a little better. Whew. But first I think I'm going to move away from that fire just a bit. Now I did the bulk of the work. I cut them to length with the saw, and then I used my knife to baton everything down to size. But now I have my Beaver carving kit. It has the spoon knife in case I want to hollow anything out. It's got the slightly larger slide knife, and then a fine knife for any little detail work that I want to try and do. But I don't think I'll be doing much detail today. So I'm going to put this down I'm going to pick one of these pieces of wood and start doing a little bit of carving. Because I'm thinking I'm going to... Oh yeah, I don't have a sheath for this. Oh, here's a good little stick. I'm going to sharpen this up. Stick it in the fire for a minute and try and use it as a pencil and draw a design on this. Now, you'll have to excuse my drawing, it's not the greatest. But it's just going to be to give me an idea. Now that's a very crude drawing of a little bird. Time for a nice little break with a hot cup of tea. Oh. Well, it's not done yet, but there's the progress so far. Starting to look like a bird. Round off a few of these edges a little bit. Now, I'm not an expert at carving. I just dabble in it once in a while. So it's not always perfect. But I don't do it to be perfect. I do it to relax. And it is very relaxing. First time I actually tried doing a bird. So I've just added more wood to the back of the fire, and I've pulled some coals to the front. And I placed my grill over where the coals are. And then once this gets burning good, I can start to cook. And if I need more coals, I can always pull more of the wood back underneath. This rock is starting to get warm. So I'm just going to place my pan up here to let it warm up a little. I brought a stick of butter. I'm going to put just a bit of butter in there. And let that slowly start to melt. So I brought some mushrooms and some onions. I'm going to put those in there. Okay. They're not completely cooked, but they're close. Now I'm just going to set them up here on the rock where they'll stay warm for now. Now I've got a nice top sirloin steak. I pre-spiced it at home with garlic powder and Montreal steak spice. And this time I remembered to bring a small piece that I didn't spice for Lucy. Okay, I'm going to consider that done. Take mine and Lucy's steak off of here. I'm going to set them back here on the rock where it's still a bit warm and let those rest just a little bit. And now get that back over the heat. And finish cooking those up. Okay, I think these are done. So I'm going to put those in the plate with my steak. Return that pan to the heat. Now we crack a few eggs. Three for me, and one for Miss Lucy. Scoop this one out for Miss Lucy. And put that in with her steak. So oh well, my eggs will be a little mangled. I'm okay with that. Look at that big pile of mess. Perfect. Now let's see if we can't chop off a little piece of this steak. Nice. Perfect. Dinner was delicious. Most of what can be packed away has been packed away. I'm having one last cup of tea. Enjoying the last remnants of the fire. Because nowadays, when the sun starts to go down, it goes down fast. And I'd like to get back to the car before I end up having to use a headlamp. Oh, I did a bit more work on that bird just before supper. Looks like he has little wings. Once I get home, I think I'm going to put my glasses on and try and touch up those wings a little bit. Oh. But made for a nice afternoon. Hey, Lucy, come on. Come on up. Good girl. Made for a wonderful afternoon. Nice and relaxing. Tomorrow morning, back to work. Back to the old go, go, go. But I think now, the weekends are clear, I should be able to go back to my regular schedule of a video a week. With any luck, soon I'll get a decent enough weekend that I can get that tent out and give it a good spray and have a nice little sleepover in it. See what it's like with the stove in there. Maybe Ann will come with me. Maybe we'll see how tight it is with both cots. We'll see. I don't know if it'll be here. We may try and go elsewhere, depending on how things are going. How many hunters are left in the woods by then. That first couple of weeks of moose season, oof, it gets busy in here. But we want to thank you for coming along. Always a pleasure having you with us. And if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. And if you're going to do that, hit the notification bell. When you hit it, there'll be a drop-down menu. Select all, and it should let you know whenever we put out a new video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Hey, Lucy, we'll see you on the next one.